Hello and welcome to day 46 of an album a day going through my vinyl collection. Today, we are talking about a very unique album from a band that has many albums out. This, of course, is the 1969 edition of Deep Purple's Concerto for Group and Orchestra. This particular copy, and I have multiples that we're going to go over briefly, but this particular copy is the original tetragrammaton pressing, which I was very excited to get. This one was a little harder to find. For the longest time, there was just not a copy at a good price. I finally found one, a little more than I wanted to pay, but you know, when you look for a long time for something and you find a good deal, you jump on it. So very nice. The vinyl is in excellent condition, considering. And all of the versions, I say all because there's three, all of the versions I have the same type of cover, the same back cover. Only difference is the label. So this one is a little tetragrammaton label. And then they're all gatefold, which is nice. There is the inside, Sir Malcolm Arnold, the whole thing. Such a tumultuous recording because the orchestra, most people I should say in the orchestra, you could see a few tapping their toes in the video, did not appreciate the idea of having to play with a rock band. It was just a weird thing to do back in the day, and now it's so common. I mean, everybody's done it. Metallica did it. So many other bands have. But this was like the first time that an orchestra and a rock band got together and did a performance. It was live at the Royal Albert Hall. I'm sure it was absolutely just amazing to have been there. I have friends that went to the updated version that was 25 years later at the Royal Albert Hall. But yeah, absolutely just unbelievable. The second version I have, look, it's the same cover, like I said. The only difference is this one is a Warner Brothers. See, there's that little red dot in the recording, so it stops me from seeing what goes in front of the little red dot. So this one is the Warner Brothers green vinyl edition. Again, in excellent shape. You know, some of the covers are a little bit beat up or just worn just from, you know, shelf life. But I have to say the vinyls are in very, very good condition. Again, same thing in the jacket, the gatefold, same pictures, same backing. Excuse me. It is freezing cold here, by the way. Starting to get used to that and trying to remember all my strategies for living in a cold environment. I did expect it was going to be a little tough moving from the desert back to the cold. Didn't realize how cold it gets here. But that's okay, because eventually I'll adjust. And in the meantime, I have enough blankets to cover probably a small country. The third one is also a Warner Brothers pressing. This one is a little more rare. Okay, so the tetragrammaton version is 69. The green Warner Brothers is 1970. This one I don't know. And what's interesting about this is it's not the regular road that you would see on the back of the Warner Brothers. There's usually like the road and the trees and stuff. So this is an interesting pressing. It is the, it has a Q, and I believe that's the pressing plant, but I've not been able to identify what year this particular one came out. So I don't know. The green ones, I think, from what I've seen so far, have been typically first, and then the white or road labels came later. But for this one, I'm not sure. I did find a couple labels that look similar, but did not have the same pressing plant number. So I'm absolutely not sure which year this was issued. But they're all in very, very good condition. This one, actually, the cover is almost immaculate. It's like clean and sharp and crystal clear. Very little wear at all. So this is probably the best copy I have. I just don't know when it's from. So I find that interesting. I'm sure eventually I will figure it out as more things get posted, or maybe I'll just find the right site that has that particular record number. But yeah, really, really cool album. It was quite an experience just even listening to it. And I listen to it a couple times a year, usually. It's not my go-to, but it's, you know, I'm a huge fan of classical music, love Beethoven. Even though I really don't have any classical vinyl, other than the Amadeus soundtrack, I don't think I have any other classical vinyl. I did look when I was at Zia's in Vegas, but they didn't really seem to care that much about those records. So they were like under the shelves and you had to get down on your hands and knees and kind of dig for them. And for some reason, whenever I'm in a Zia's, I don't know what it is, but I just get really lightheaded whenever I have to like bend down to a shelf and stand up. It seems to only happen there, so there must just be something in the air in those stores. Don't know what it is, but it's not something I'm a fan of, so I wasn't really interested in digging around all over the floor to find whatever classical music they might have. Vegas Vinyl had some, but they didn't have any Beethoven, which is what I was really looking for at the time. There was some Mozart, but it wasn't anything I was familiar with, so I didn't really want to invest at that time. But who knows? Maybe one day I'll rent a car here. It looks like there is a similar antique mall to the one that I used to go to in Vegas. They were really hit and miss. Not much on classical, but the ones that I saw were in pretty poor condition, so I didn't purchase any there. But who knows? I'll probably start adding some at some point. It's interesting though because so many of those pieces, like the symphonies, were pretty long, and I'll be curious to see how they fit those on a vinyl because vinyl wasn't a thing, when Beethoven was around and Mozart was around. So they weren't writing to any kind of time frame specs. They were writing to public performance. So completely different strategy. But anyway, Concerto for Group and Orchestra, really, really cool. It was nice when they did it 25 years later and Ronnie James Dio was there and he sang a couple songs from Butterfly Ball. Really, really cool stuff. So if you get the chance, check it out. The album's out, the video's there, and yeah, it's really good stuff. So see you guys tomorrow. Cheers.